Nintendo Switch 2 is finally here. We are going to unbox this and get right into it, but before we do, we are going to metaphorically pour one out for the original. Nintendo has been known for console gimmicks, and I know that we use the phrase game changer pretty often, but really, the Switch was a game changer. At 152 million units sold, it sits behind the Nintendo DS and the PlayStation 2 as the third best-selling console of all time, and with good reason. Handheld gaming systems are nothing new, but having the main console itself be a portable system was absolutely unheard of. I bought this Switch in August of 2017, and I never had to replace it. Never traded it up for the better battery or the OLED versions, and even bought a Switch Lite, which I may or may not have let a girl borrow and never got back. Don't make that face at me, she was cute.
You dumb bastard.
I used this thing in handheld mode around the house more often than docked. I took it on trips. I took it to jury duty. I took it to the bar and played Mario Kart and Smash with strangers for years. It was also set to power down after an hour of being idle, so that 1,500 hours on Breath of the Wild is countless replays. The original Joy-Cons were out years ago, but despite a lot of heavy use, this OG Switch held up amazingly well for the past almost 8 years, and I'll be honest, it made me a little sad to power it down for the last time after migrating everything over to the Switch 2. Thank you for the good times, Switch. You sparked a lot of joy. First and foremost, shout out to the gay BFF and his husband who was somehow able to snag 2 of these on pre-order and the third for my nephew when they went to pick them up at the midnight launch. I really didn't think I'd be able to get one this soon. Packaging was fine. The screen is right against the front of the box and there is no padding, so shipping one of these would absolutely freak me out. There were also reports that some stores had stapled the receipt to the front of the box and actually stapled it to the screen. I would have acted a damn fool and been escorted out, but apparently my local Best Buy was not one of those stores. First impression, it is much bigger.
Phrasing?
Laying on the couch playing Mario Kart and replaying Breath of the Wild is about to look a whole lot better. Still running on a USB-C, but the adapter is chunky. I tried running it on the original Switch cable, and while it did work, the power was slowly going down the entire time. Switch 2 takes more juice. I never had a problem with the original Joy-Cons and would use them sideways to play Mario Kart with my nephew, but these are definitely a step up. The original Switch had a little button that would release them, and I'll be honest, the idea of scrapping that for magnets seemed iffy at first. But they actually stay in place, and the little button pushes them out just enough to pull them out. They're not heavy, but they definitely have more heft than the originals did, and all those tiny little buttons are much bigger now.
Phrasing.
Now, while nothing will ever replace the timeless Wii Shop and Mi Channel music, this loading music while the Switch 2 powers on and does its thing was quite nice and soothing. I expected this whole process to take much longer. Launch day updates are usually a lot more tedious and a huge mess overall, but that was it. Same with transferring anything from your previous Switch to the new one. Once you sign in and take a sec to get the placement just right, it transfers everything over, nice and easy. Side note, the Switch does have to be plugged into an outlet when you do so, but overall, this was an extremely smooth transition. Also worth noting that this transfer was for game data only. Any digital games would have to be fully re-downloaded, but honestly, that's fine. Took another hour or so for all of that to finish, but I was able to pick up Tears of the Kingdom right where I left off. This video would have been done a few days ago, but I got very distracted at this point, had a few beers, and tried to fight a Gleeok. I was not successful. Late as I might be for this, Nintendo had a great week. There have been some gripes about battery life, but honestly, that's to be expected. Grab a charger or a portable battery and you're good to go. I hate to admit this, but I really haven't played a whole lot of Mario Kart just yet, but in the limited time I have, it is amazing. Truly a new level of absolute chaos. There is a lot to do in free roam that I've barely touched on, but we'll get there little by little. Fuck. Try not to miss those. I think those are outfits and each character has a bunch. Anyway, back to yet another replay of Breath of the Wild. Maybe this will finally be the run where I get all 900 Korok seeds. I need to leave the house more.